Eric, our topic today is one that I've been thinking about for a long time.
You trying to figure out the best scam you could run on somebody? Is that...
Well, when we start talking about annuities, and folks, a lot of you found us by going on the internet, and you did a Google search and you searched some term and you brought up our website. And so when you did that, you probably, since you've been out there looking at annuities and things about annuities, you probably experienced a lot of material and I would say an inordinate amount of material that can warn you about scams, scams on annuities and this type of thing. And I would just like to talk about that.
Yeah, if you look at the sidebar up the ads around when you search for the term annuity, it's like alert, scam,
right.
Oh, beware. Everybody
senior alerts, retirement scam alerts.
Yeah, everybody wants to pile on the negative. Well, and you know why? Because you click.
It gets your interest.
It's like everybody wants to watch the car accident as you drive by.
Right.
For some reason, negative sells, and in this case, scams, alerts is what draws people in. So it's a marketing term.
And it is true that there really are scams. So it's not it's not as if we want to say that you don't have anything to ever be concerned about. But on the other hand, you kind of want to understand what's really the driving forces behind the information that you see on the internet.
Right. And financial services has gotten a black eye a lot lately because you've got Madoff. Right. You've got these big name accounting firms, or not accounting firms, but basically
investment firms and the like.
That people have run off with money, billions of dollars of.
Right. And let's be really frank. These large schemes that people put over on unsuspecting victims, literally.
Sure.
They're not that easy to discern. They're not that easy to know what's really going down underneath. I mean, if you were to look up Madoff's character at the time when he was flying high, you probably wouldn't find any fault with him.
One of the most respected guys in the investment world at the time.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, they have all studied Ponzi schemes.
Yes.
And that's basically what they're doing. They're
Right.
taking one person's money and passing it up the chain. And
well, one thing, Eric, that you and I have frequently told our clients, it's just a standard theme. Always beware if an advisor asks you to make a check out with their name on it.
yes.
So Madoff, a lot of people were making out checks to Bernard Madoff and his investment company directly to him. He had more or less full custody, full control over their money, and so at least there should be some red flags go up.
And in fact, one of the things when we're doing paperwork here in the office, I'll tell the person, if anybody ever tells you to make a check payable to them, you run as fast as you can.
Right.
You're making, here you're working with a company. And I don't want to throw company names out necessarily, but you're making the check typically payable to the insurance company or the investment company. Those are where those checks should be going, not to the individual. Even though that person is your advisor and you may have complete trust in them, you still don't make the check payable to them.
It's a safeguard. Yeah. It's checks and balances. And so now if we switch gears from a lot of the big Ponzi type schemes and the investment company scams that take place, and we switch over to annuities. Annuities are highly regulated by state insurance departments.
Right.
These are companies that are perhaps 50 to 100 years old.
Yeah, most of them are
older.
Have significant time spans that they've been in existence for, and so
there are third-party ratings that you can look at, folks, that will tell you, following them over a long period of years, how they have fared, how well they have done, and so it's really a different realm when you get into annuities with the protections and the regulation that's involved, and yet there has been some accusations of scams with annuities. Yes.
By who?
Who? Well, primarily what we run into and what we read in the news are those that go after the older people,
Right,
senior
the
citizens,
unsuspecting person that should never have bought an annuity.
in the first place.
And the scam there is basically, it's the suitability of the product for
Right,
the individual.
right.
And it's somebody taking advantage of somebody's, I don't want to say diminished mental capacity perhaps, or just not understanding the product
Right.
and how it works.
Right.
And that's one of the things we stress a lot. We also, you buy what you know
Yeah.
and what you understand.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with needing to understand how a product works before you purchase it.
Right. Equip yourself.
Yeah.
Do your research. Understand how third-party rating agencies work. Look at the background of the annuity company. And then you have to have a certain mind about your own finances.
Sure.
In the sense of how much do you put into an annuity? And we often say, you know, if an advisor tells you you need everything in annuities, you should run the other way.
Right.
So there's this balance of allocating the proper amount. In fact, you want the least amount in annuities as a rule that will produce the maximum amount of income that you need.
Right.
And-
We talk about the foundational aspect.
Right.
You know, having a secure foundation. That's what we utilize that for.
Right.
We don't want to put more in there than you have to.
Right.
But we want to protect a certain amount.
And on the other hand, there are other reasons why folks use annuities, and it could be for avoiding probate or just safety of the money and a reasonable growth on that money to get it over to heirs. So just you just have to weigh over what your purpose for that money truly is, and not let somebody talk you into something that's not going to be good.
Right. In the scam aspect with annuities, oftentimes we hear it's the things that really, if you hear them on their face, they're too good to be true. You know,
Right.
Guarantees of unlimited potential and,
Right.
and
No
income.
downside risk.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes. I mean, we do
Yeah.
agree there is no downside risk, but when you couple that with unlimited upside potential, it's not true.
Right. When you hear something that sounds too good to be true, it often is.
Right.
Is the rule of thumb.
Right.
And somebody that doesn't play out for you, or lay out rather, both the positives and the negatives of a product, really isn't giving you the full picture. You know, we
Right.
all like to paint a rosy picture of what it can do on this side,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a reality of what actually will happen with
Right.
it. And you need to understand all those when you're working with an annuity in any product,
Right.
any financial product.
Right. And you know, something that probably many different ones have experienced or been invited to are these free lunch and free dinner seminars.
Oh, those scams? Free
Are those
food
scams?
Of course they are.
What if it's good food?
Oh, well, then it's good food. But still, a scam. You know, nobody buys an annuity over dinner. You know. Yeah,
Well, I would think it might be a scam if I was really going to buy an annuity over dinner.
Never sign the check if it's free. No, it's when you hear about the free food and the free dinner aspects, we always laugh because from an advisory standpoint, it's a way of getting people and talking to a room of people,
Right,
and that's why you see
right,
them out there.
right.
It should be really thought of as an educational seminar, but it's just like going when you get that call to go see a timeshare. Oh, we give you a free
Right,
weekend
right.
in this great,
Right.
you know, sunny.
Right.
The expectation is you're going to sit through the sales presentation.
Right. And that's what you're getting with a free dinner or a
Yes.
free lunch. You may get some valuable knowledge about something.
Right.
You may have a nice meal, but you're going to be asked to set an appointment.
Yeah, just it's the expectation. Just, you know,
Right.
when you get something, you're expected that law of reciprocity that see people want
Right.
something back from you, and so don't be surprised when you're
Yeah,
asked.
yeah. And I think, folks, that there's really nothing wrong with that when it's done correctly without that scam aspect to it, where someone is trying to do something you know, that's not legitimate, sell something that's not legitimate, or talk you into something that's not suitable, or just target people over 70 or something of that nature because they're easier to sell an annuity to. So I think that you know, as long as you're aware that you look at both sides of the equation, you do a little research, then your potential for being scammed in these situations is greatly minimized.
That's right. It's all about educating yourself, being
Yes.
realistic in what what you're getting and what, like go back to what we said. If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Right,
So the
right.
same goes for somebody sitting through any presentation,
Right.
whether it be annuities, investments, whatever.
Right.
We all have been, sold that bridge that goes to nowhere, right? So.
Well, folks, never tie up more money than you can afford to tie up in an annuity. Make sure you have liquidity. Somebody comes along and starts talking to you about putting a mortgage on your home to buy an annuity, a reverse mortgage, this type of thing. It would be the rarest of occasions that would have any validity. So you want some red flags to go up and think about it. And that would go for any investment. Hey, mortgage your home and here's an investment. Now, I mean, there may be certain situations where that would be warranted, but it would be very rare.
And let's tell you, there are places that you can go online, and that the internet's a great tool to investigate if you think something's a scam, or
Right.
you're concerned about the broker, the company, that there's ways of researching all of those pieces.
And let's just reiterate just a little bit about what we started out talking about. And that is that many times on the internet you're going to see a lot of stuff that talks about scams, and the real intent is just to sell you an annuity. So you have to see that thinly veiled marketing aspect, and it's everywhere. It's very pervasive.
Yeah, people are just trying to get in front of you is really what they're
Right.
trying to do.
Right.
Take your time, educate yourself.
Right.
One of my favorite sayings is you only get to do retirement once.
Yeah.
So make sure you do it right.
Yeah. No do-overs.
No do-overs.
And I just might mention that for any of you that would like, you can go on. You may have already had access to it, but you can get my book, which does have some interesting chapters in it that talk about annuity scams and talk about FINRA and the SEC and how they can help you. Also talks about advisors, different types of advisors.
The broker check pieces,
Right,
and how you can investigate an advisor.
Right. So
excellent.
So use that.
So, well, thanks for visiting today.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye now.